What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lewis and happy Vlogmas 2024. I'm posting a video every single day, December 1st through December 25th. Now, my most popular video I've ever recorded and posted on YouTube, if you filter my videos by most watched, is how to hook a bowling ball. And I did that one-handed because I was one-handed at the time. Now that I'm two-handed, I'm gonna try to do a how to hook a bowling ball for two-handed bowlers. That's exactly what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna go over some drills that I do that really help me throw the ball better two-handed than I ever did one-handed. And I think that this video can be good for a multitude of different people, right? It can be good for someone who's brand new in bowling, who's trying to become a two-handed bowler. It can also be a really good video for people who are one-handed trying to transition into two-handed, but it could also be a really good video for people who are two-handed, who have no idea what they're doing, and they're looking for a little bit of guidance and or direction. So this is going to be a very much educational type video, how to hook a bowling ball for two-handed bowlers. We're gonna be here at South Point. It's a fresh house shot, but it really doesn't matter. These drills, it doesn't matter if it's a house shot, a sports shot, if it's fresh, if it's not. It doesn't matter the ball that you're in. We're not looking to throw strikes in this video. We are looking to get better at bowling. I am gonna do it with my Effector because I want it to get a little bit of lane shine before I throw it in league next week, because I hit it with too much surface before league. So I want to make sure that it gets a little bit of lane shine before I get to league on Tuesday. But guys, let me know in the comments, do you like these educational type videos? Yes or no? Again, happy Vlogmas. Coolwick.com, promo code Napoles10. Link down below to the chamois, the balls, the spinners, everything. And please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers, and I can't get there without you. So we'll see you on the lanes. All right, so this is gonna be the first drill that I do, and I have not thrown a single shot. I'm not warm at all. My hands are still ice cold, but this is the perfect time to start doing these drills so that you don't have any bad habits for the day. So you're gonna notice I have my shoe booty on and I have my chamois in my hand. We're gonna do the foul line drill from our knees, which you guys know is my absolute all-time favorite drill. So what we're gonna do is put the chamois on the ground here, and we're gonna do this from our knees so that we can eliminate as much moving parts as possible, all right? So we're gonna put our hand underneath, and the goal is to keep our hand as far underneath the ball as possible, right? We're gonna keep our hand here for leverage. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna try to go straight up and down, right? And then the goal is not to strike. The goal is to really help get your ball track higher, right? Keep your hand in the right spot. Now, as a two-hander, this should be pretty easy just because your thumb's not in the ball, you kind of have to stay under. But if you're struggling with really keeping your hand under the ball, keeping your elbow in, this is the first drill that you're gonna wanna do. This is something that I do like maybe half a game to 3/4 of a game, really to just keep my elbow in, because a lot of my misses, and maybe a lot of your misses as well, is that my elbow gets in, or gets out, sorry. So when it goes like this, I have to go like this, and I end up missing right like crazy because it figure eights. Really, I want my elbow to be in the whole time, right? So elbow in, this drill really helps for keeping that elbow in. And I wanna show you here real quick. All right, so when I do that, my track is super high. It's over my fingers and thumb, or not thumb, obviously, but it's flaring over my fingers. But when I go to do that, when I go to do a full approach, it's really not gonna be over the fingers at all. So we're just gonna keep this rolling here, right? And then again, we're gonna do the same thing here. I'll do it a few times here just to really show you guys. Get my fingers nice and in, elbow in, 1, 2, 3. Oh. And again, I'm not really looking to see what the ball does down lane or anything like that. I'm looking for it to be nice and forward, and then eventually it will taper off because we are adding a little bit of revolutions. And then once you get comfortable doing that, meaning half a game, maybe a full game, the first time you do it, you might have to do it a few more times than just the 1 or 2 that I'm gonna do in this video. Once you do that, you're basically gonna do the same drill, but from your finishing position. right? So now we're incorporating, we're adding more, right? At the beginning, we're trying to isolate as much as possible, trying to get that elbow in from the ground, right? So we're gonna grab the bowling ball again. All right, we're gonna take the oil off, right? Because I still have to shoot some videos here afterwards. And we're gonna do the same thing, but not from our knees. We're gonna get into our finishing position. All right, sorry that cut off there. But so we're gonna get into our finishing position, and then a really important thing to start from this drill is find a spot where your offhand is gonna be. So if you're right-handed, I'm talking about your left hand. A lot of people, like I see online, they say, oh, interlock your fingers and do all this. But the reality is, I would rather you put your hand somewhere that is comfortable, that you're not going to move from shot to shot. Because for example, for me, I'm like here, which is not super close to my fingers, but it doesn't move, right? If I try to interlock my fingers and do all that stuff, that's when my offhand starts to move. So I would rather you get into a spot where it's not going to move. It's going to be more isolated, more stable, right? So we're gonna get into our finishing position here. Again, where the ball goes doesn't matter, right? So I'm gonna be in my finishing position. We're gonna get a few swings in and we're just gonna go. The goal is to throw it the same way we did from the knelt position. So elbows in, right? We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, right? And again, where the ball goes really doesn't matter. We're gonna strike there, of course, because I said it doesn't matter where the ball goes. But the biggest thing to remember is to keep that elbow in and get that swing nice and free. Now, before I wipe the oil off the ball, I just wanna show you here, like where that, like to me, that is perfect track. If I can track like this, full release, full approach, full everything, I think that that's gonna be something that's really, really good. So I'm gonna do that one more time here for you guys. I'll wipe the oil off the ball. And then again, where the ball goes, don't get caught up in trying to strike when you're practicing doing these drills, right? So again, we're just gonna do the same thing. We're gonna get into our finishing position. I like to do a couple practice swings and then go, right? So everything gets into my finishing position. My hand right and left where it needs to be. And then I'm gonna get a couple practice swings in, elbow nice and in. 1, 2, 3. All right, nice and forward, right? My hand goes all the way up the back of the ball, and that's all that I'm looking to do out of that. Now, I will say, don't move through these drills just for the sake of moving through these drills, right? It's important that you do not get to another drill until you are comfortable doing the previous one, right? So don't go to this drill until you're comfortable on your knees. Don't finish this drill and go to the next one until you're comfortable with this drill. It is the most important thing that I can really weigh on you guys on this, okay? All right, so that previous drill, again, we're gonna do that like for about half a game, right? So half a game on the knee, half a game standing up, and then same thing with this next drill, about a half a game, maybe a little bit more until you get comfortable. Now we're gonna do one-step drills, right? So it's just the finishing step, right? So you're gonna get to, let's say like about here, wherever you're gonna slide to finish, right? And we're gonna swing, and then when the swing gets into our apex, we're gonna go. This is gonna help with our timing, right? This is gonna help us get to the line at the same time as our release. One-handed, I really struggled with my timing. My timing two-handed is actually pretty good. So for me, I would do a one-step drill, maybe 3 frames. Like I'm really not gonna spend too much time on the one-step drill just because my timing is actually pretty good two-handed. So for me, I'm gonna really focus on drills that help my elbow stay in, right? So the 2 from the floor and then the full approaches. Really keeping that elbow in is my biggest issue. So let's find out what your biggest issue is and then really work on it. So I'm gonna get my hand, right, into a comfortable spot, get that elbow in. We're gonna swing, and at the apex of the swing, we're going to start our slide here, okay? Right, it can get awkward because the hip kind of gets in the way. So like that ended up being like a little bit more than a step because I needed to clear my hips. But it's important that we do these drills so that we can get our timing to be really, really good. Ideally, you are releasing the ball as you're coming to a stop, right? So I'm sliding, as I'm coming to a stop, right? It happens almost at the same time. Ideally, is that always gonna happen? Unfortunately, not. But we're just gonna keep this rolling here. And again, when I do these, when I actually practice this, it takes, like, it warms me up as I go. I'm only like 4 or 5 shots really into this, so I'm not warm at all. But you'll notice that as you do this, you're gonna get more and more warm. All right, so again, we're gonna get into our swing, and we're gonna slide here. Right, so that was a pretty good one. I would feel comfortable now getting into the next one. I don't really do 2-step drills. I typically go from 1 step right to 3 steps, and that's for a couple reasons. One, for me, it's comfort-wise, but also a 3-step drill is something that you're also going to do in actual bowling. Like when you're bowling tournaments and you got to get in front of the ball return, you're going to take a 3-step approach. So that's why I really stress and really like the 3-step drill. All right, sorry that cut off again. The senior league just started going and it got really loud in here, so I didn't want it to go up and down. I didn't want to peak the audio. So we're gonna do it again here. Again, we're gonna line up with the ball return here. We're gonna do 3 steps. I like to do a little dip to get started. And again, this is the way I do it. This is not necessarily the way you have to do it, right? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Right, so you can already see as we add more steps, add more things, the ball speed is just going to naturally go up because you're using your legs a little bit more. So this is going to reset here. The ball's going to come back, and I'm going to do it again. Again, this is going to be one that I do a little bit more than just a half a game, right? So 3-step drill, I'm probably going to do like maybe a full game, because I think that this is one of the more useful drills that you can do as a bowler. And then after the shot here, I'll show you guys what my ball roll looks like. Ideally, it's the same from previous drills, but you know, that doesn't always happen here. So a little 3-step approach here. Let's make a good one here for you guys, right? That's a really good one, yeah. And you know, while the goal is not to strike, really when I get into the 3-step drill, that's when my brain says, okay, let's try to strike now, because this is something that we're going to be doing in real life situations. The ball's coming back here. Right, so it's a little bit inverted. It's a little bit off the fingers. It wasn't the best shot. So I'm actually just gonna keep it rolling here. And we're gonna try again, right? The goal is to just keep that track a little bit higher without touching our fingers. So we're gonna try again here. All right, ready? I missed left, but I think that was a much better shot track-wise. And then once you get comfortable doing the 3-step drill, right, this is gonna be the one that's the most awkward, because you're moving and you're not doing it the way that you normally do. Yeah, so this track was much better, much closer to the fingers, not as low. That was a much better shot. But this is the one that's gonna feel the most awkward for you guys, because we're actually bowling, we're actually moving, but at a different amount of steps than we normally take, right? Normally, if you take 4 or 5 steps, it's gonna feel different than the 3-step approach, but I can't stress enough to not skip the 3-step approach. So by now, after you're about a half game in, maybe a full game in, doing the 3-step drill, you should be nice and warm, nice and loose. Now you should be trying to throw some strikes. Now we're gonna go to your full approach, right? So if you normally do 4 steps, you're gonna do 4 steps. If you normally do 5 steps, you're gonna do 5 steps. If you normally do 6 steps, 7 steps, whatever. So for me, I go kneeling down, foul line drill, 1-step drill, 3-step drill, full approach. So for me, I take 5 steps, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop recording and restart it right now, reset this here real quick, and then we're gonna do our full 5-step approach. All right, so hopefully by now you guys are nice and warm. I'm really not that warmed up yet because I've only been doing 1 or 2 shots of each. But really, I can't stress enough, do not skip steps on your process to development. Learning and development is important and you cannot skip steps. So now we're gonna go to the 5-step approach, which is just my full approach. And I'm gonna go to a spot here where I think I can throw a strike from. And my goal is to throw the ball good like I have this entire video through all these drills and throw a strike, all right? So whatever I have to do here to throw a strike is what we're going to do right now. Nice. So, I mean, like that's like as good as it can get. Chris, you saw it? There we go. There's my messenger, yeah. So no, it's important that everything that we built on up until that point is what we keep doing. We don't just automatically go to our bad habits or whatever those habits are, right? We want to make good shots, but the only way to do that is through learning and development. Do not skip steps on the way, on your journey to knowledge. Do not skip steps. If you found this video useful, helpful, informative, whatever the case may be let me know in the comments and we will see you tomorrow on another Vlogmas video.